All right, everybody, welcome to the Fighting's Final. I'm your host, Mike Laro. Phils win tonight 7-2. They got the long ball going tonight, guys. What can I tell you? 3 home runs for the Phillies tonight by none other than Schwarber, Kepler, and JT Realmuto. Christopher Sanchez, 5 innings tonight. Only gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. But, are you starting to get a little concerned with Christopher Sanchez? Last 2 outings, really not that good. So, but the Phillies, they take the second game in this series. Taijuan Walker will go tomorrow for the Phillies. And you know what, guys? We're just going to get right into it. And then I'll take your comments, your questions about tonight's game. I'm starting to get a little worried about Amundo Sosa as well. He was very hot to start off the season. Basically, we could have found a place to play him in every game. He has cooled off a little bit. Bryson Stott tonight also going 2 for 5. He was the only Philly really with multiple hits in this game. So, again, as I'm looking at the box score right now, he is the only one. Him and JT. Bryson Stott was 2 for 5. JT was 2 for 4. And also Rojas was also 2 for 4. So I forgot about him. But Phils, you get the dub. And I'll tell you what, man. This is, they're winning. That's the only thing I can say right now. It's not pretty, but they're winning. And this bullpen's starting to find themselves a little bit. Bullpen tonight was really, really good. Kind of shut down. They shut down the Nats tonight in this back half of this game. Guys, just a real quick reminder. Following me tonight, that's right here on It's a Wrap. That's right, roughly top of the hour. Matty B will be taking you around not only the Philly sports scene. He will be breaking down probably everything that I've missed in this game. He'll be breaking down the night, and he'll have his own thoughts and opinions. So, guys, make sure you tune in to him tonight. 10 o'clock, the final word. Guys, tomorrow night, that's right, Pat Bernard, Steve Fuentes, that's right, Attacking Third will be here live on air tomorrow night. Make sure you guys check them out. And, guys, the longer-awaited return is just this Sunday. That's right, myself and Pat Bernard, along with the voice of God, Al Safiri. That's right, P and M in the AM. We are back starting this Sunday, so your Sundays will never, ever, ever be the same again. And as for the aforementioned Matty B, he will have you tomorrow after the final out as we get ready to welcome in those Arizona Diamondbacks this weekend to Philadelphia. So, guys, make sure you definitely check them out. And you know what? I'm not going to go with a banner tonight. You guys know who I am. All right, guys, we're going to start off. Phil's going to jump in early. That's right. Kyle Schwarber with a Schwar bomb. That's right. He's starting to heat up. Home run last night, home run tonight. Starting to heat up a little bit now as Schwarber. 3-run home run. The Phillies jump out 3-0 for Christopher Sanchez. He would hold that lead until the top of the third when Lowe would hit an RBI single and score Young, cutting that deficit to 3-1. Bottom of the fourth, Bryson Stott with an RBI single would put the Phillies up 4-1. And then right at the top of the fifth, the very next half inning, Rosario would go bounce into a fielder's choice. The aforementioned Young would score again, cutting that lead in half to 4-2. But then that would be all that the Nats would end up getting, because in the bottom of the fifth, Nick Castellanos with an RBI single after a Bryce Harper double would drive him in, and it would make the Phillies 5-2. Max Kepler in the bottom of the sixth would go deep, almost had one earlier in the game. So Kepler almost had 2 home runs tonight. He does go deep in the bottom of the sixth, giving the Phillies a 6-2 lead. And then the aforementioned JT Realmuto, he would go yard in the bottom of the eighth, giving the Phillies that extra cushion for a 7-2. And that's how it would end up, guys. It would end up 7-2. But my broadcast bottom line, My broadcast bottom line, we've been killing them all year, but the bullpen tonight, outstanding. Literally, Sanchez starts the game, goes 5 2/3, gives up, goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits, two runs, 2 earned runs, walks 3, which is kind of not like him. But he also had 6 strikeouts to go with it. Ruiz would come in, would not surrender a hit in an inning and a third with 2 strikeouts. Tanner Banks would follow him for an inning and 2/3 with 4 strikeouts. And then Hernandez would come in and shut the door on the Nationals. So you're looking at 4 innings tonight from this Phillies bullpen. No runs, no hits. No runs, no hits for this Phillies bullpen. That's right, I said it. Look at your windows. It's probably going to storm. But no runs, no hits. Good game tonight by the Phillies bullpen. They are my Broad Street bottom line. They locked it down when they had to lock it down. And you know what? That was a really, really good performance by the bullpen tonight, guys. And you know what? Before I get to your comments and all your stuff, what I want to do is let's take a good old trip around the bases. Alrighty, guys, here we go. In Cincinnati today, it was the St. Louis Cardinals 9-1 over the Reds. It looks like they had a doubleheader. First final 9-1. St. Louis over Cincinnati. The second game didn't get much better for the Reds. They lose 6-0. So they were outscored today 15-1. It was Cleveland over Minnesota 4-2 in Cleveland. The San Diego Padres completed a sweep of the San Francisco Giants. So San Francisco is no longer in first place. That's right. San Diego leapfrogs them into first place in the NL West. It was the Seattle Mariners 9, the LA Anaheim Angels 3. The Dodgers beat the Marlins 12-7, and Colorado beats the Atlanta Braves. I believe, I'm sorry, it kind of moved on me there. Yes, they beat Atlanta 2-1 today in Colorado. It was Detroit 7, Houston 4 in Houston today. I'm just taking a look right here. In the top of the 5th right now, Texas and the Sacramento Athletics are tied at 1-1. It is Milwaukee and the Chicago White Sox tied at 3 in the top of the 6th. And guys, if you have not seen the City Connect jerseys for the Chicago White Sox, all I have to say is Google them. Holy cow, do they look good. The Arizona Diamondbacks have a 2-1 lead over those New York Mets in Queens. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Boston and Toronto at the end of 7 are knotted up at 6. It is the bottom of the 8th. It's the Baltimore Orioles 5, New York Yankees 4, and there was a benches clearing altercation there today. There was benches clearing after a collision at second. It is the Pittsburgh Pirates 4, the Chicago Cubs 3, and it is the Kansas City Royals 3, the Tampa Bay Rays nothing. So there you have it. There is your scoreboard for this evening. Now, guys, I can concentrate on you. So here we go. Let's see where it is. Big Al Safiri checking in, my producer, a.k.a. the voice of God. It says, what's up, Mike? Nice to have an easy win. Yeah, Al, it did. It did. And you know what? Kudos. We've been killing the bullpen. And you know what? The bullpen deserves a little bit of love tonight. All right? I don't want to hear it. Matty B, don't come on here later and start your stuff. The bullpen deserves a little love tonight. They went 4 innings, didn't give up a hit. Did not give up a hit. So you know what? The bullpen deserves a little bit of love. Actually, my player of the game, believe it or not, as far as offensively wise, I'm going to say Yohan Rojas. That's right. Yeah, I know Kepler went deep. I know Schwarber hit the 3-run home run. But he was 2 for 4 tonight, and it just seemed like he kept getting on base. He kept scoring runs tonight. Every time I turned around and looked, Yohan Rojas was crossing the plate tonight. So He's my player of the game. Adam C's checking in, says, nice win tonight. Keep it rolling. 4 in a row. That's right. Al said, did Rojas fall on his beam? Did he fall on his bean peg when he got hurt? I don't know, Al, but I know he was in some pain. So it looked like he was in some pain there for a minute, but he stayed in the game, so that's a great sign. Adam says, Tanner Banks looking real good tonight. Yes, he did. I thought Banks looked real well. I'll tell you what, Ruiz coming out looking real sharp too. But, I'm a little weary about the who the hell was the guy that had in there in the last little bit of it? Where's he at? No, I don't want to watch. I really do hate sometimes MLB, but I'm trying to remember the guy's name that came in. It's the guy we got from Kansas City. Where the hell is he? Hernandez. He scares the living daylights out of me, man. He really does. That dude scares the living hell out of me. Let's see. Star Wars. Oh. What the heck? Where are you at? There we go. Star Wars checking this. Says Sanchez, Dick Yodi only gave up 2 earned runs, and for the bullpen, not that bad. Nah, it didn't. Adam says, don't kill Pat on Sunday. No, that is my job in life, is to make him so uncomfortable. So I'm going to have so much fun on Sunday. We are really all looking forward to getting back together and coming in here and putting on a good show for you guys and talking good Philly sports. Steve says, I'm seeing some Kenny Lofton in Justin Crawford. I'll tell you what, yes, and Otto Kemp needs to be up here like tomorrow. Like that kid is raking down in AAA. I don't want to hear nothing. He needs to be up here on this team. If Alec Boehm's not going to give him a pop, put this kid in the lineup and then see what you have. He says we may not see Marshall unless someone gets hurt. That guy's in such a funk. He is. But you know what? He had options. He's able to go down there, let him stay down there and work through it. Joe Hale says great win by the Phillies. Rojas is getting good at baseball. Yes, Steve, he is. He is. And I'll tell you what, me and Al kind of stuck behind Rojas with this. I know not too many people, boom. Are the bullpen no hit? Yeah. Star Wars, no hits for the bullpen tonight. No runs, which is even more important. So tonight, I'm giving the bullpen their flowers. Okay. You'll have to wait till 10 o'clock to see if Matty B gives them their flowers. And I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. Somebody always this time of night thinks McDade Boulevard is their drag strip. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about over the net, that's a place in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. But I'll tell you what, it was a great win for the Phillies, and it seemed like every time the Nationals started looking like they were trying to come back, the Phillies just said no. That's it. Like, no, you're not coming back in this game. We're winning this game. That's it. And the Phillies are doing what they're supposed to do. You guys, think about this for a second. This same Nationals team just took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. This is how crazy baseball is right now. The Phillies get swept by the Mets, which, by the way, if you take away the 3 really good teams that they're playing, the 3 really good teams that they played so far this year, they're 8-7. Okay? They took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, took 2 out of 3 from Chicago. They've taken they split with San Francisco, and they lost all 3 to the Mets. You add it up, it's an 8-7 right now against the top tier teams in the National League. So, it's as bad as the Phillies have played, they still have a winning record against winning, first place teams. Steve saying Rojas foul by the top of the lineup, starting to look more speedy. Yes. And I like the fact that Rojas took off tonight too and tried to steal base, even though they were up by 4 runs. Who cares? You don't like it? Throw me out. I'm not one of these baseball purists. You know what I mean? You want to rub it in. Steve, another one of our co-hosts here on this Fighting's Final and also attacking the third. Steve Fuentes says, what's up, Mike? Nice win. Wish they could have won like that last night. LOL. Keeping Stott on the league. I like it. I think he should stay there. I really do. And of course, tonight, I laid a little shekels down on it. Had a little free bet tonight. And of course, I had Kepler getting a hit. He got a hit. I had Sosa getting a hit, or not Sosa, I'm sorry. Rojas getting a hit. He got a hit. I had Stock getting a hit. He got a hit. I had Sanchez over 5.5 strikeouts. You know who killed me tonight? Trey Turner. He goes 4 for 4 last night. I figured he's at least going to get a single. Nope. So there you go. On a simple, I had a free like $5 or $10 bet, whatever it was. I think, it was a $10 bet. I would have got like $260 back. So thanks, Trey. Joe Helsing Hernandez. Ranger comes back this week. I cannot wait until he does come back. I think it'll be pretty cool. Maybe they can give Sanchez a rest and slide Ranger right in there. Be pretty good. Star, we're saying Aiden Miller is hitting good. That's good. Let him work his way on up. But I know he's definitely one of these. He's an untouchable in this Phillies organization. So, and I'm really starting to a little worry. If you guys listened to Matty last night, he kind of brought up he thought maybe Dombrowski was falling back into some of the familiar things he did when he was with Detroit and Boston, with trading young talent for already proven veterans to try to win a World Series. If they haven't done it yet, I'm not saying he's not going to package a deal and maybe get rid of some young talent. But you got to look at it too. You have to give up young talent to get some really good players right now. So if you have to give up a guy like the three untouchables in this is Carpenter, Miller, and Crawford. Everybody else is up for. I could care. They could trade. You don't trade Aiden Miller. You don't trade Carpenter. You don't trade Justin Crawford. Those three guys, any team calls for them, you tell them they're not on the board. But anybody else, I'll tell you what, Otto Graham's making a good case for him to get moved somewhere. If he's not brought up to the Phillies, if he's not being brought up, from Lehigh Valley, and he's tearing it up down there, his stock's going to rise. So I mean, hey, if his stock rises and you can use him to grab some pieces, then hey, let's do it. Uncle Steve checking in and saying, the Phil's better with runners in scoring position. I agree with that. Adam saying we got to find a way to beat the Diamondbacks. Yes, we do, but we got one more with the Nats, and I think we got to be able to go ahead and do that. We need Rojas. That's a scary steal. Steals for Rojas. I don't know. Trey is the enemy of consistency, which kills you. And I guess that's supposed to be postseason. So someone said a 6-man rotation. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if the Phillies went to it. Now, the only thing is, the two guys you're going to get every fifth day is going to be Wheeler and Nola, because neither one of them can throw without being. If they get extra rest, they are horrible. They are horrible. So you will see Nola and Zach Wheeler go every fifth day. Now they may work the 6-man rotation around it, but he said unpopular take. Otto Kemp, you can sell high on. Yes, Steve, I think you can, but he's got to continue to develop the way he's been developing. If he keeps playing the way he's playing, you can definitely sell high on him. But the Phillies got to get him up here. Okay, him showing it that he can do it at the AAA level, okay. I need to see him come up and face major league competition. Now, if he comes up here, you bring him up for like 2 months or something like that, and he knocks in. He hits 7 or 8 home runs and knocks in about 15 to 20 runs batted in. And, and he plays a really good third base. Yeah, he's a movable piece. Matter of fact, you know who becomes movable then? Alec Bohm. And I want to know maybe if this is something, I want your guys' take on this. Is this something that you maybe think maybe the organization is doing? Is having a guy like Otto Kemp, he's playing well, he's breathing down Alec Bohm's neck. I want to see how Alec Bohm handles this pressure. Because to be honest with you, I don't think he can handle it. I don't think he's mature enough to handle this competition coming in. And right now, if you're looking at the third baseman for the Phillies, right now, Otto Kemp's playing a better ball. I know it's a AAA, but he's a better baseball player right now. That's it. He's a better baseball player right now. So, I would like to see what's going on. I would love for them to bring up Otto Kemp. Like I've been calling for it, and I wish really they do. Same thing with Mick Abel too. Like this is like they need help in the bullpen. Let's grab one of these young arms that are down there and bring them up. My question to you guys is this. Again, Phillies beat the Nats tonight 7-2. 3 home runs for the Phillies tonight. So they broke out the long ball stick by home runs by Real Muto, Kepler, and Kyle Schwarber. So I think it's starting to be hitting weather here in Philadelphia. Uncle Steve says, I don't think Kirkering can handle the adversity at all. I'm willing to work with Kirkering. Okay, Kirkering's a young kid. I think he's like 21. If that, you got to remember something too. This guy rose from single A ball, came all the way up, came all the way up to the Phillies in 1 year. One season, he went through their home minor league system. So, I mean, again, I think with time, I think he's going to get better. I think Kirkering's going to be the Phillies' closer in the future. But he just needs a little more seasoning. I think he'll get there. As far as some of these other guys, I'm glad to see now. It looks like the rust is starting to wear off some of these guys. Maybe the jitters, of some of these guys coming to the Phillies. Maybe starting to be over, because I'll tell you what, Romano hasn't looked as bad his last few outings. The one outing, it was just boom. So, Mike Papernick checking in. My good old buddy. It says, what was the reason Robbie pulled Sanchez in the 5th with his team up 5-2? Because he was at 80-some pitches. Or close to 87 pitches or something like that. And he left his last game, he left with forearm soreness. So it's a precautionary measure. Basically what was kind of being said before we came live. So that's why they pulled him. But Mike, I know you weren't on here, but I literally said that my Broad Street bottom line was the Phillies bullpen tonight. 4 innings, no hits, no runs between Ruiz, Banks, and Hernandez. If you would have told me those 3 guys were going to come in, Banks, I got a lot of trust in. But between Ruiz and Hernandez, if you're telling me they were coming in this game and the Phillies were up by 5 runs, I would be extremely worried. They came in and just shut it down. They shut it down. And again, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's just the Nats. Well, this just the Nats team just took 2 out of 3 against the Mets. Actually, I'm sorry, they split with the Mets. It was I forgot they played Monday. So that's why I turned around and, I forgot the Mets kind of crushed them on their way out of Nationals Park on Monday. So I did forget that. I apologize to those Mets fans who might be watching. Mike says, I do not trust the bullpen or bullpen by committee. Well, that's how Robbie's going to run it. He's not going to give anybody a significant role. And I'm going to bring this up, too, because I'm going to play devil's advocate with this as far as why do you want to keep giving guys a certain inning? Okay, why are you going to keep giving Strahm the 7th or 8th? Why are you going to keep giving Kirkering 7th or 8th? For me, honestly, if you're going to try and lock it down, everybody knows they're going to Alvarado. Right now, Alvarado's been their most consistent guy out of the bullpen. But let's be real. Alvarado has not been locked down for a full season since we've gotten him. Okay? If you remember, before he started throwing at 100 miles an hour and looking real good, he was wilding all over the place. So, again, I'm going to play devil's advocate about why this should be a bullpen by committee, because, again, Alvarado can only go back-to-back days once. Like, he's not going 3 days in a row. Okay, and I'm sorry, if you look at the guys who are closers right now, rarely any of them are going 3 days in a row now. You'll get 2 days back-to-back. From after that, they're not available. And that's all around baseball. So, again, to me, You know, do I want to see Hernandez in there in the ninth inning? Only in games like this where they're up by 5 runs in the ninth inning. And even then, I'm a little worried. You know, like really right now, the only lockdown guy they have in the ninth inning right now has been Alvarado. And that can change like that. That can change in a blink of an eye. All of a sudden, he can become Mr. I'm missing everything. Excuse me there, guys. So, Robbie says it's a hood win. Maybe, Rob. Don't have Otto Kemp piss in a cup right now. I'll tell you what, that kid's on fire. I'm about to go check his stats to see if he did anything tonight. Because smacking 2 home runs last night. I mean, dude, he's got more home runs than anybody on the Phillies right now. I think him and Schwarber are close. So, because Schwarber went, he hit 2 home runs. But, I mean, he went deep twice. So, Adam says, I guess Robbie's job's safe for now since they're winning. Yep. Carlos Hernandez is quadruple A command with MLB stuff. I guess, Steve. I guess. Guys, don't forget, coming up tomorrow, that's right, Matty B will be the one on the call after the game tomorrow. And speaking of one, Matthew B, he will be following me. That's right. In roughly about 23 minutes, the top of the hour, he will be on the final word. He will be going over this game as well as Eagles draft and just the overall day in sports. I always find it very interesting, too, that he always does this day in sports, this day in Philadelphia sports. I think it's pretty cool. So I was watching the one last night, and he brought up about the Flyers eliminating the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 1989, and I remember watching that. Maddie's a couple of years older than I, but yeah, we kind of grew up around that same era. Tomorrow night, guys, Pat Bernard and Steve Fuentes. That's right, attacking the third. I do believe that's at 9 o'clock. Make sure you guys check in with them for all your Union updates and goings on around the MLS. Make sure you guys check out Pat and Steve. They will be on tomorrow covering everything Union. And to be honest with you, if you ever follow both of these guys on social media, you will see Pat. You already know why we call him the Gobbler, because every picture he takes down the Subaru Park is in the cafeteria area. So, and speaking of Pat, me and Pat will be back Sunday morning. That's right, P and M and the AM, bright and early Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, along with Al Safiri, a.k.a. the voice of God. We are returning, but this time to It's a Wrap Sportsnet. Your Sundays will never be the same. Me and Pat will be going over all the doings in Philadelphia sports. We'll be probably going back over this week and how the weekend series is going against those Arizona Diamondbacks, talking Philadelphia Eagles draft, and taking a look at their schedule upcoming to see what's going to happen with them guys. Flyers are searching for a new head coach, and are the Sixers really bad as everybody thinks they are? So make sure you guys tune in Sunday morning, 9 a.m. For P&M in the AM, and we'll be happy to see you guys then. All right, guys, I got a few more. There you go, 36 days for a basic. Okay. Adam says, great show, Mike. Thank you, Adam. And Steve checking in says, Ken Reggett saved our asses in '89. Yes, he did. Ken Reggett is a unappreciated Philadelphia Flyers, because when he did leave here, he went across the state and played a few years for those Pittsburgh Penguins. I believe he did win a cup for them. He was a goaltender when they won. I believe it was their first cup. Kenny Reggett was in net. So, yeah, that's been something totally crazy, man, going back for that. But, guys, it has been fun. Again, top of the hour, 20 minutes from now, Matty B taking you in to the final word. Make sure you guys tune in for him. I will see you guys bright and early Sunday morning for the return of P&M in the AM, guys. Enjoy all your weekend action and keep it here on It's a Wrap Sports Network. P&M and the AM coming back. We brought back the attacking third. We got more stuff that's going to be coming in the future. So make sure you stay, like, share, subscribe, be a part of our family, and make sure you guys, just tune in for all this great Phillies coverage that we do give you. We provide it. We're here every game, man. Every game. Matty started out the Fightins final in year one. He did all 162, and he did 162 by himself. Think about that for a second. Matty B did 162 games by himself. There was no me, there was no Al, there was no Pat. The following year, he was gracious enough to offer us spots on this program, and now we're into year 4, man. Cannot believe it. He said Lehigh Valley with a 3 OPS, unheard of. It is. Guys, it has been my pleasure to be here talking to you guys. Like I said, keep it up. In roughly about 19 minutes, get back on here, talk with Matty B. I'm pretty sure if you got questions, he'll try to have the answers like myself. But until Sunday morning, guys, stay here for all the Fightins final. Again, wait a minute. Let me do this one more time. Damn, they didn't put it up. All right. I was going to show you who was doing it this weekend, but Matty will do that tomorrow. So, guys, make sure you check it out, see who's covering this weekend for the Fightins final. And I will see you again bright and early Sunday morning with Pat now. I'll see you then.